We're going to look at some worked examples of accessing your pension using firstly Ufpls, which means that you take the tax-free cash, which is up to 25% of your pension, at the exact same time that you take the taxable income, and then also using flexible access drawdown, where you still take the tax-free cash, but the taxable part sits in a crystallised pension pot, and you can take that later on. So under flexible access drawdown, you've got more choices around accessing your tax-free cash, and you can basically access it earlier. So it's almost as though flexible access drawdown is the hare and Ufpls is the tortoise, where the tortoise is delaying taking the tax-free cash for as long as possible, so it's compounding within your pension. And then flexible access drawdown is taking the tax-free cash quickly, so you don't have that income tax to pay earlier on in your life. But the thing is, if you ask the hare nicely, he will act like the tortoise. So actually FAD can just mimic Ufpls because it is that flexible. So there's a trade-off, and let's see how it plays out. In this FAD versus Ufpls example, we're going to look at Fred and Wilma, 51 and 45, full state pension. We've got their employment income here, what they're saving into SIPPs and ISAs. We've got their current SIPP and ISA balances. So they've got a pretty large SIPP, so they've got quite a lot of money that they can strategically deploy. So they're looking to retire in about 5 years' time. Initial income in retirement after tax will be 45,000. Then they're going to drop down to 31,500, which is this kind of solid, steady state that is sustainable once they're 81. So here's the profile of the wealth by type under Ufpls. So they burn through the ISA. The personal tax allowance for Wilma means that her small SIPP gets burnt through first, and then they're left with Fred's SIPP in the final years of retirement. In terms of the income, they've got salary initially, then they've got some ISA before they can access any SIPPs, then they're using Fred's SIPP, the associated tax-free cash to mop up the personal allowance, then they move on to take a bit more aggressively from SIPPs, and then finally state pensions are kicking in. What's most interesting in this example is the tax that's being paid. So they're actually paying tax a bit earlier in the Ufpls example, and they've got a bit of a spike in the tax paid because Fred has to take quite a lot of money from his SIPP before Wilma is able to access hers. And what's happening is that these early withdrawals of tax from the portfolio actually go on to create a drag on the wealth over time. So now we move over to flexible access drawdown. So initially, Fred is taking some tax-free cash from his SIPP, and then Wilma's taking tax-free cash from hers. So the expenditure requirements are exactly the same. What we've got is the ISA is lasting for longer because we're taking tax-free cash earlier, and then also potentially Wilma's SIPP is lasting a bit longer as well. Then they actually end up with slightly higher wealth at the end of the life of this plan. So here under the sources of income, the total amount is the same. It's just this green that's been shifted around in terms of how they're taking the tax-free cash. And then for the tax paid, what we can see is they're paying tax a bit later on in life. They do initially pay slightly more tax, and then when all the tax-free cash is gone, they're paying the exact same amount under FAD and Ufpls, and the total amount of tax they're paying is less, and that's why they end up with more wealth under flexible access drawdown. So by strategically utilizing your cash and modeling it properly, you can end up with slightly more money in retirement and less money going to the taxman. Here are the summary tax profiles of FAD at the top and Ufpls at the bottom. And with Ufpls, you're paying more tax and over a longer period, although with FAD, you've got a bit more of a spike in the tax paid in some of the mid years before expenditure is reduced in the final phase of retirement. So one use of flexible access drawdown is that it fills up the holes in your income schedule and stops you from drawing too much on your taxable pension. An example would be when your ISA has run out and before your state pension has kicked in, then would be a good time to take tax-free cash under FAD that will fill the gap, stop you paying too much tax, and then the money will compound in your pension and you'll be much better off. In this example of FAD versus Ufpls, Fred here has a £30,000 a year defined benefit pension, and then he has £10,600 a year state pension on top of that. So he needs to be careful how he takes his defined contribution pension to stay under the 40% tax threshold. So let's look at how he can do that. The goal here is to take £52,000 a year after tax in retirement. So there could be some potential 40% tax band issues. Here's our wealth over time in the Ufpls example. We're burning down through the ISA, then through Wilma's SIPP, so she's utilising her personal allowance, and then finally Fred's SIPP with a finishing wealth of around £224,000. And here are the sources of income over time: salary, ISA, SIPP, tax-free cash, then pensions. But we've got a problem when it comes to income tax because they're paying 40% tax in some early years of retirement. And if they use flexible access drawdown, they could take more tax-free cash and shift the burden to later on in life. So now let's look at things under flexible access drawdown, where initially Fred, when he's 57, he starts taking tax-free cash in an accelerated manner, and then the same happens for Wilma. This wealth by type graph over time, there's a lot less strain on Fred's SIPP in terms of taxation, which means that he has a higher ending SIPP balance of just over £400,000. So he's considerably better off if he uses tax-free cash in a more strategic way under flexible access drawdown. So in terms of the income tax paid under FAD, we can see there's a much smoother profile in the early years and a longer period of paying 20% tax. Total tax paid is around 40,000 less than the Ufpls example, and because the money is retained within the pension, it's able to compound and grow, and that's what causes significant differences in wealth over the life of the plan. So we've seen how careful planning can lead to a lower tax balance, more wealth, and more ability to do fun things in retirement. So you can go and see a wealth planner to do all this for you, but they just do things using specialist software. They give you a report, and then you can't change it a year later, say if you have a change in circumstances, want to model something new. They're also incredibly expensive, likely to be over £1,000, probably in the £1,500 bracket. A retirement calculator spreadsheet is much cheaper. It lasts forever. You just update your wealth and the current tax bands, and it's infinitely customizable. So if you've got some spreadsheet skills, you can modify it to your heart's content, run all sorts of scenarios through it, and get lots of value out of it. So if that interests you, go to my website, ianshadrack.com. There'll also be a link in the description and in the pinned first comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.